Hello, everyone. My name is Rebecca Morton. My pronouns are she, her. I'm the artist and studio manager here at Baltimore Playworks, and we are thrilled that you all have joined us. I would like to acknowledge that I'm joining from my office located on Piscataway and Susquehannock land, currently known as Baltimore, Maryland. It is my pleasure to welcome you to our virtual artist talk given today by Riho Kawachi. Riho is currently a short-term resident. For more information about our artist talks, please visit our virtual library at baltimoreclayworks.org. I will now turn it over to Riho.
Hello, my name is Riho Kawachi. I'm a 3-month short-term residence artist. I'm working on my artwork here at Baltimore Works until the end of next month. Today, I would like to introduce my background and my works. I was born in 1993 and I'm 30 years old now. My background is very simple. I was born and have lived in Tokyo all my life. After attending art college and graduate school in Japan, I now work as a receptionist at a clinic in Tokyo and create ceramic works in my home studio. The reason why I work at the clinic is because it is easy to get lonely and simmer down if I am working on my artwork alone. So, for a change of pace and for money, I do this job unrelated to ceramics during the daytime on weekdays. After I come home from work and have dinner, I finally have time to create. I'm busy every day, but I'm having fun and I'm satisfied. From 2020, I participated in various exhibitions almost every month until 2022, when I went to study in Taiwan. This period was very busy, but I had a lot of experiences and learned a lot. To date, I have had about 20 group shows and 3 solo shows. Between my return from Baltimore and next summer, I have 3 solo shows and 3 group shows coming up. The university I attended was Tokyo University of the Arts, founded in 1949, is the only national university of the arts in Japan. It has a faculty of fine arts and music. The ceramic major in particular accepts a large number of international students each year. For example, China, Korea, Taiwan, the US, Turkey, France, Poland. Since it is a national university and has a long history, it tends to emphasize traditional Japanese techniques. So students basically learn traditional techniques. Therefore, I think there were few opportunities to learn about contemporary art. In other words, since I come from a craft background, I think I had more training in making dairy products than in sculpture. In addition, students were encouraged to combine traditional techniques with their own style. This can be considered a good point, but some people think it is old-fashioned. One of the best things about belonging to my university is that I have met so many different types of people in terms of nationality, age, background, and gender. Another interesting feature of our university is the project of wood kiln. I really like burning wood kiln, as shown in this image above. It is a relatively large wood kiln with 6 rooms. After entering graduate school, we designed and built our own wood-fired kiln as part of our curriculum. During the spring and summer, we went to campus every weekday, just only 5 girls, to dig in the dirt and pile bricks. The lower right photo shows the work in progress. We finally completed it in the autumn, and we were able to fire that twice before graduation. It was a very nice kiln. During my junior year of college, I went on a week-long study abroad program. We went to New Hampshire and did an exhibition at Colby Sawyer College and did some sightseeing. The picture above is one we took with Professor Keenan, who invited us to the US. He was very sweet and took us to a lot of places in New Hampshire. He knows wood-fired kittens well, and his works are super good. While there, we happened to meet American writer and illustrator Tommy DePaolo and visited his studio. He was famous for his books for children. He was very sweet and he made me feel happy just by being around him. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2020, but it is a precious memory for me. This picture is my graduation work in 2018. Picking up on the fact that lace is made from a single thread, I created this work with the idea that human activity is similar to lace knitting. I thought that steadily knitting lace is similar to steadily living day by day. And it is my hope that someday at the end of my life, I will love the life I have knitted and I want to live such a life. These are pictures of the process of making. I designed my own lace and used it to make a plaster mold, then placed a clay onto it to transfer the details of the mold. Once removed from the mold, I carved it by my hand little by little. And it was conscious of the feeling of fiber and lightness of the lace. After this work, I began to consider abstract design instead of realism because I realized that my realistic work did not have my own personality. I thought I just wanted to show that I have technique. The viewers were not interested in the concept, and many commented that I had made it as well as the real thing. This was not the reaction I was expecting, so I needed to change something. I tried a more three-dimensional approach, focusing on the carving technique that I was in my graduation work. I dared to make an abstract design in order to show my originality. Around this time, I started to use plants that I designed myself as motifs. There are works from my graduation from the graduate school. The basic concept is the same as the previous lace work, but the expression became more abstract. I stretched and connected clay like a string to make one very long line, like noodle. Each one is about 15 inches tall and weighs about 3.5 ounces. 10 pieces were fired in 4 months, and 4 of them were selected to be placed in the exhibition. What was different from the previous lace work was that I accepted the cracks and deformations that occurred during the firing process. It is hard to see the details in this photo, but every piece is cracked or deformed. I consider the experience of failure to be part of my personality. That is why I took a picture of me hugging my artwork, and posted with the artworks. Actually, I have not made large pieces like this graduation piece since graduation because it requires a large killing and time. However, I would like to make it again someday. Here are some of my works after graduation. I have four categories of work: sculptures, reliefs, trinkets, and daily use. My grandparents lived in the mountains and worked in the forestry industry. They lived in nature and grew flowers in their house. I felt good every time I went to their house because Tokyo has nothing but buildings and crowds, yeah. Because of this influence, I have loved flowers and plants since I was a child. That's why I prefer botanical pieces. Most of my botanical creations are my own original designs and do not actually exist. Of course, I use the shapes of actual flowers and leaves as references. But rather than seriously reproducing those shapes, my priority is how to make the design pretty or pop. Yeah. Okay, let me introduce you to the details of my four categories. First, the sculpture. Um, this can be made large or small. The red flower piece below, this is divided into upper and and lower parts. And so you can put candles or lights or something shiny inside. Yeah. After the dome is made and sealed with coiling, I tap on the outsides of it with a paddle, which increases the strength of the clay. Then drawings are made on the surface with watercolors. If you make a hole in the wrong place, it will leak. So it is necessary to finish the process all at once because it becomes impossible to carve when it dries. And just today, I unloaded this piece from the kiln. Yay! I think it was success. Unlike tableware, when I make sculptures, I try to bring out the expression of the clay. I leave soft textures, bumpy surfaces, and finger marks in these works. And if the sculpture cracks, I almost never mind. Next up are reliefs and trinkets. My idea of relief is that it is a two-dimensional work of sculpture. I designed it to make effective use of the wall when I do solo exhibitions. And then trinkets are small palm-sized works. I play with clay and paint as I like. The concept was to create something that could be easily purchased and easily displayed for the Japanese who do not tend to buy art. Last, tableware. Many of my clients, such as galleries, requested tableware rather than sculpture because tableware is easier to buy and sell in Japan than sculpture. My painting method is called sometsuke in Japanese. It refers to works painted with blue pigment made from cobalt, which is one of the traditional Japanese techniques that came from China and Korea. For Japanese people, this kind of pottery is common and easy to use. They are difficult to paint and generally cannot be sold at a high price. For this reason, there are few artists who actually produce only sometsuke works. Also, I always have a hard time adjusting to the time and price too. As shown in the upper left image, one of my specialties is painting the backs of dishes. This is so that when I wash the dishes and turn them over, make myself happy. Honestly speaking, I think it is difficult to create originality in tableware with only clay shape and glaze. That is why I make it easy to recognize individuality by painting. Since the outbreak of COVID-19, more and more people in Japan have been uploading photos of their dining tables to social medias, for example, on Instagram and Facebook. As a result, many people started to buy tableware and the demand for tableware increased at once. This is a welcome trend, I guess, yeah. But if it breaks, it becomes garbage and it cannot be recycled. So this is because the ceramic waste is likely to increase. I try to be strict with myself so that I can create satisfactory works. I often use the method of drawing outlines with a pencil and applying pigment in them. It is especially difficult to apply color to marks, balls, and other items with inflated surface because the pigments tends to drip easily. These days, instead of sticking to blue, I find colorful painting fun too. I did not find good pigments in Japan, but I realized this when I learned about colorful pigments in Taiwan. I'm glad to see that many pigments are sold in Baltimore this time. I have already bought many of them and planning to use a lot of colors to paint in the works I'm making now. And this is recently fired mug uses 6 colors. And the colorful pieces are interesting and more fun to design. Ceramic is a fascinating material that can be painted or made three-dimensional. It can be a work of art, and at the same time, it can be used as tableware for daily use. And it can be manufactured everywhere in the world. I don't think there is a more effective material, and the process of making ceramics is really, really fun. Coiling, wheeling, painting, glazing, firing, yeah. Also, from the point of view of tableware, I think it is a very good item to understand the local culture through the mix. So the main reason I want to do residency abroad is to see the connection between local life and pottery. This top left photo was taken in Japan and the lower left in Taiwan. In Japan, one person uses a lot of small dishes, but in Taiwan, everyone shares a large plate of food. We Japanese have many finely designed dishes, small and large sushi plates, ramen bowls, tea bowls, and so on. It is interesting to see the differences even within the same Asian country. My impression is that in the US, they use large mugs, and large plates or dishes. It is like having a main dish, side dish, and salad all on one plate. I like this because it looks simple and beautiful. If you find any interesting pottery, please let me know. This is end of my talk. I would like to continue to challenge myself to create various works and to learn about various culture through ceramics. Okay, thank you all for listening.